Hello, hello, hello. Got a little zesty with the hellos. And welcome back to Tier List Thursday. We love Tier List Thursday. Woo! Give it up for Tier List Thursday. And this week, we're ranking every Pokemon in Generation 2. Big deal. Big deal, kind of. Not really. I'll be completely honest. In my personal opinion, I am of the opinion that Generation 2 probably has, like, the weakest set of Pokemon. That being said, Gen 2 also has some banger Pokemon, so it's not all bad all the time. Any other things I have to say? I don't think so. I'm gonna probably do like a Dave the Diver or a Shovel Knight, one or the other. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And then over the weekend, I'm going home for my mom's birthday. So, big plans, but I should hopefully be back Monday. And I know I always say this and then I never do, but I am actually going to try and stream a little more next week. Because I really want to get back to Shin Megami Tensei 3 one day. That's becoming like a running joke of me never going back to Shin Megami Tensei 3, but I want to go back to it. I've got so many things on the backlog. I've got Super Mario Mon 2. I never finished that, which I'll probably start playing that a little differently because trying to capture everything was a little bit much, but whatever. We rock with it, ladies and gentlemen. We rock with it. So, without further ado, let me to my browser and get to my window capture so that I have the right thing. And then reduce the size because somehow that got fucked up a bit. Perfect. Is that good? Can y'all see that? The tier list is going to become like more and more cluttered as we go on, so get ready for that, I guess. That being said, let's start the music up. So I've got, you can't see it because it's on another tab, but I've got Nostalgic Times 12 hours of relaxing Pokemon music to help you study/sleep by Twin Leaf Lullaby. So there we go. Subscribe to Twin Leaf Butterfly, or it's Twin Leaf Lullaby. I don't know why I'm shouting them out. They have like a grand total of over 1,000 more subscribers than me, but gotta shout everybody out. Gotta shout out everybody. Can't be a hater. So here we go. Oh, don't tell me Lapras. Oh no, this is the one who did the Gyarados. Okay, Lapras isn't gonna be yapping the whole time. So is that good? I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. There we go. That ought to be good. Yeah, that ought to be good. Okay. So, Chikorita. Chikorita was probably like the #1 most hated starter of all time up until like Gen... I want to say 7 with Primarina. But honestly, it may even be up to Gen 8. So... yeah, but Chikorita was like #1 on everybody's hit list for a long time. That being said, Chikorita's never been a Pokemon I particularly cared for, but I've also never really got the hate, you know? I mean, I understand some of the hate, don't get me wrong. It is garbage for a playthrough. That is true. Never pick Chikorita in the Johto games. You will get your ass handed to you. Pick for Alligator. That being said, people seem to act like it's as bad as, like, I don't know, Galarian Meowth, and that's It's just not true. So I'd say Chikorita can go in a solid B tier. It's certainly not on the level of any of the Kanto starters, that's for sure. Also, I've started rewatching the Pokemon anime. Well, rewatching for some episodes, but watching for the first time for plenty of other episodes. And so, who knows, maybe my Gen 1 takes will change soonish, because I don't think many of them really changed that much. Pidgeotto might change, though. Pidgeotto is kind of the GOAT in the Gen 1 anime, at least where I am right now. Pidgeotto's gone like 1 and 0, because Ash never uses it, but it always wins whenever he pulls it out. Pidgeotto's kind of the GOAT. Anyways, where's Chikorita going? I'd say under Horsey. Actually, under Dratini. Yeah. Bayleaf. Bayleaf's... This whole gen kind of just has, like, pretty bad... Or, by this whole gen, I mean every starter in this gen. They kind of all just have really bad middle stages. The best one's probably Quilava. Or no, Croconaw is alright. But Bayleaf is just kind of an awkward middle stage. And this sprite really isn't doing it much help, because that is an ugly-ass sprite color. Did they accidentally use the shiny? Hold on, let me look up Bayleaf real quick. That's not the Pokemon. Oh, I misspelled it. That's why it didn't show up. Yeah, this is what it normally looked. Okay, so I guess... Yeah. I definitely like this more like drowned out color, though. That's for sure. This sprite is not doing it justice. Probably, yeah. I'm gonna move Galarian Mr. Mime up. I've kind of started liking Galarian Mr. Mime the more I think about him. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, there's where Bayleaf goes. And then Meganium. And I mean, Meganium's alright. Again, like, it's no Venusaur. But it's decent. I can't hate it too much. Can't hate it more than Hypno, but I can't like it more than Chansey. It's alright. I think getting a Mega Evolution in ZA is definitely going to help it out, and hopefully it'll get the Fairy type. I think it's been leaked that it's going to get the Fairy type, which is good, because it really needs it. It should have been made a Fairy type in Gen 6, if we're being for real. But I don't know, if they ever decide to remake the Gen 2 games again, it'd probably be, it'd go from the worst to the best pretty quickly, I imagine. Also, on the topic of ZA Megas, Dragonite. Where is Dragonite? Oh, Dragonite. Oh, there he is. Dragonite. I like his Mega, actually. I think it looks cool. I don't really care what the haters say. Dragonite's Mega is alright. And if you don't really vibe with it, I would suggest going and looking at fan art, because I didn't really get it until I saw some fan art, but as soon as I saw some fan art, I was like, okay, I understand it now. So, there you go. Then Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil... I like Cyndaquil. I don't hate Cyndaquil. I'm gonna put him probably there. Yeah, I don't know. The Gen 2 is like one of the games I played the least, so I am like really unattached to any of the Gen 2 starters, and it's kind of gonna show. And Cyndaquil, I don't know. He's just all right. People really love him, but I've never been like a huge fan. Quilava, I don't know what this render's doing. I way prefer Kalava when he's on all fours. That being said, I mean, he's a solid evolution, I guess. Nothing too crazy. Probably, no, above Sandshrew. Probably right there is where I'd rank Kalava. He's just alright. Then Typhlosion. Typhlosion's cool. Typhlosion is one of the ones I put in that in the ever enigmatic fighting game concept, and I made Typhlosion like the charge fighter, so that's cool, I guess. I'll put him right here. Again, I'm not like a huge fan of I think this line, for one, the big problem with this line is that, like, in the 3D games, they don't have the fire going constantly, so they just look way too smooth. And for two, it's like they're just kind of animals with fire on them, you know? They're not that cool. And then Diddyflosion. Which, for those of you not in the know, this Typhlosion is innocent. Regular Typhlosion's innocent. Free my boy. Hisuian Typhlosion's the Diddy. He was at the Diddy party. I've seen the guest list, bro. He was there. And for being at the Diddy party, he's gonna go in the worst to ever do it. Because, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna make a row below. There we go. There we go. I'm not gonna do the island. The island joke is still a little wild even for Diddyflosion. There we go. Get him out of here. Officer Chinny, arrest this man now. Totodile, aka the starter I am definitely gonna pick in ZA because, well, I never minded Tepig as much as other people seem to mind him, but Totodile's a lot cooler, so yeah, I like him. I remember Ash having a Totodile in the anime. Gen 2, funnily enough, also the bit of the anime, at least the bit of the anime prior to Gen 6 that I saw the least of. So I'm gonna know a lot less of like the influential Pokemon from the Gen 2 anime, so oh well. I'll give him above a lowland Sandshrew. So I like him. And Croconaw. And Croconaw is just cool. I mean, look at this man. He's just the GOAT. He's just that guy. There's something about him. I rock with his energy. It's the same type of energy that like Crocorock has, and I also rock with Crocorock. So I'm actually gonna put him like up here. He's just cool. And then for Alligator's another one that's just cool. Like, it's hard to deny for Alligator's coolness. Where did I put Charizard at? Where's the Zard? I gotta find the Zard. Big Man Zard. There's Big Man Zard. For Alligator goes over Big Man Zard for sure. I mean, for one, he was absolutely cheeked up in his old sprites for no reason. I still don't know why they did that, but it's really funny that they did. And also, he's just cool. He's just cool. He would have been a lot cooler with the Dark type, admittedly. I think Gen 2 is the only gen for all three Pokemon to be monotype all the way through their evolution. I'm pretty sure. Because Gen 3 wasn't, Gen 4 wasn't, Gen 5 wasn't, Gen 6 wasn't. Yeah, Gen 2 is the only gen to have all their Pokemon be monotype all the way through. And it's like, they put Dark type in this generation. For Alligator, really should have been Dark type. And then they also could have like thrown in, I guess Fairy type didn't exist yet, so Bayleaf would still be normal, but, or not Bayleaf, Meganium would still be just grass, but, Typhlosion could have been Yeah, I don't know. These Pokemon are just basic. Like, it really is crazy. Because even though I fuck heavy with Feraligatr, I fuck heavy with Feraligatr from like a Pokemon concept, not from like a starter concept. You know what I mean? That probably doesn't make sense, but I don't know. It's just hard because Gen 1 starters were so good, and it's like, how do you top that? And then Gen 2 starters just felt like they didn't even try, so whatever. Whatever. Sentret. Sentret. I have no strong feelings about Sentret one way or the other, that's for sure. Oh, where's Rattata's there because of Fear Strats. Okay, so, I guess Sandshrew. It'll go below Sandshrew. And Poliwag. And Machop. And Execute. And Cyndaquil. Not Cloyster, though. That's where Sentret will go. It's just... Sentret just is the Route 1... whatever of all time. The Route 1 rodent of all time. That being said, even my Icy Heart of Stone cannot be immune to the Furret Walk propaganda. I love Furret. Furret's just so silly. It does the walk. Hold on. We're gonna pause this music real quick. We gotta do live demonstration on the Furret Walk because it's important. Furret Walk. There we go. Is this the one with lyrics? No, I want the one with lyrics. With lyrics. There we go. Yes, there we go.
Other Pokemon can fly majestically through the sky, but I
can't walk. I can't walk.
Other Pokemon can dig a hole that's real deep and
this song's a beggar. Never pass me the aux cord when the hoes are around, bro, because I will be playing the Furret Walk with lyrics. This shit's peak. Is this YouTube Kids? Oh yeah, this is YouTube Kids. That's why my recommendations are so weird. I was like, what the hell are these recommendations, bro? But it's because this is a YouTube Kids. But I can walk. They can walk.
Other Pokemon have quads.
Hitmonlee does not have quads, bro.
God, but I can walk.
They can walk.
And sure, they might be the creator of all.
This song's so peak, bro. I love this song, bro. I am not immune to the Furret Walk. It's also really funny, like, because I don't know, I might have a bunch of new gens in the audience, so they might not know. But there was like a whole like saga of the Furret Walk stuff, and like Furret befriended Jevil from Deltarune and also Stom from Pokemon Sword and Shield. It was so peak. It was such a peak saga, the Furret Walk saga. We love Furret. I wish I had a camera because I'm like hitting some moves. I'm busting some moves right now, bro. It's so peak. Oh. I don't care. I don't care, bro. But yeah, absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. We love that. Is there any other Furret Locks? Furret Lockdown Lullaby? Oh, that was... Oh man, I remember when this one came out, dog. This is what the world needed. All you new kids don't know.
Other Pokemon can play outside on a sunny day, but I can
you new gens don't know. This was like what brought me out of my depression during COVID, dog. This was such like a major influence on my life during COVID. It's such a big deal. I still liked it. Oh hey, this one's not. And whatever. The world is scary.
I have seen that I matter an awful lot to you. You matter
This is such a.
This
was such a we needed when the world needed Furt the most. Furt returned. I think I've convinced myself. Furt's gotta go up here, bro. Furt's gotta be up here. Fuck Gyarados. Furt's my goat. This is what the world needed, bro. Oh, and Phalanx was part of the squad too. I forgot Phalanx was in the squad.
Now for sure, there's things happy songs can't cure, but you can walk.
You can walk.
And I'll keep on walking too. Together we'll make it through, 'cause we can walk.
Did I ever leave a comment? I didn't leave a comment. I was wondering about that. I didn't think I left a comment on this.
Come back here and I'll sing this again from the start. Rest up for now, because there's so much more to do. Further ahead of you.
Bunk bunk. When the world needed her the most, Furry came back. My goat. That is why Furret's the goat. We need to bring back the Furret Walk. Furret Walk needs to come back in the Big 25, bro. Anyways, that aside, Hoot Hoot, going into a significantly less interesting territory. Well, I won't say that. Hoot Hoot actually is interesting because this is another one of Gen 2's Pokemon that's like, wow, this Pokemon sure should have been a different type. Also known as, it should have been Psychic Flying and not normal flying, but I guess Nadu and Sadu were already there, but like, come on, bro. Like, Hoot Hoot is based off a clock. I think Noctowl also has clock elements. They should have been Psychic. We could have 2 Psychic flying types in a generation. It would have been fine. That being said, Hoot Hoot is... I like the clock element. I think that's like an interesting way to do an owl. Just make them like a clock. Because it's also like, you know, when a clock chimes, it's like... And, you know, makes hoot 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 hoot. I like that. It's fun. It's fun. Should I put Hoot Hoot above Pikachu for the slander? I don't feel like being slanderous today. At least not yet. Put it down here. So I quite like Hoot Hoot. And then Noctowl's just cool. Like, I don't know what it is. Noctowl's just like cool. Like, even though it's literally just an owl, it's still a cool owl, you know? It's cool. It's like the owl from Winnie the Pooh. It's just a cool owl. So where's this cool owl gonna go? Probably there. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. That's where this cool owl's gonna be. And Ladybug and Ladian, also known as the 2 Route 1 bug Pokemon of all time. Ladybug, I don't even know what they're trying to do with Ladybug. This is Ladybug, right? Hold on, which is which? This is how you know they're forgettable when like, I don't even remember which is which. Okay, it is Ladybug. Get out of here, Bayleaf. Get out of here, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Get out of here, me. Ladybug... It weirdly reminds me of like a playground toy. And that's literally all I have to say about it. So C tier, I guess. Can go here. I like Seal more. There was at least a one episode of the anime where Misty thought she was a seal because Hypno hypnotized her. So at least Seal has that going for it, I guess. Then Ladian is really weird to me because for some reason they just took a complete 180 and made Ladian like a Super Sentai type deal, like a Power Rangers thing. which I guess, swing for the nosebleeds or whatever the saying is, but I don't know. This one just didn't really pan out for me. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel about it. No, I like Seal more. Spinnerak's just a cute little spider. I like the cute little spider. I'm not immune to cute spider propaganda. You know what I mean? I think right there. And then Ariados. Ariados is just cool. I don't know what it is. I just vibe with Ariados. It's like with Noctowl. I just kind of vibe with Ariados. Like, I know I was just complaining about, like, Ladybug being certainly a ladybug, but, like, I don't know. Ariados just... It may just be a spider, but it's just my spider, okay? So, I like it more than Cubone. Because Cubone has a dead mom. And that's minus Aura. Crobat! Woo! Crobat! Finally giving Golbat giving Zubat the evolution it deserved. Golbat didn't deserve this evolution. Zubat deserved this evolution. Definitely, like, up here. Crobat's so cool. I mean, Crobat's, like, he's pretty good in every game that he's in. Friendship evolution, so you can just kind of get him as soon as you get a Golbat. And also, it's just, like, the 4 wings, speedy type dude. It's just a baller design. It works really well. I fuck with Crobat. Chinchou and Lantern. Chinchou, I like the idea of. It's like an anglerfish type deal, but it's got 2 anglers. Ooh, my. And it's also kind of like a little blob creature thing. So I like Chinchou. I like the idea of Chinchou. Put it there. Nah, actually, I'll put it behind Marowak. I like the idea of Chinchou. Lantern, on the other hand, Lantern loses, like, all the aura. Like, I feel like they should have evolved on, like, Chinchou not being very fish-like and kind of capitalized on that and made it look weird. Because that's the thing. Things from, like, this far under the surface of the water, they are weird. They look weird. And then Lantern is just kind of like, it sure is a normal fish. So I don't know. I'm not really as big a fan of Lantern as I am of Chinchou, if I'm being honest. If I'm being for real. It's like reverse how I feel about Seal and Dugong, I guess. This is getting tough. Put it there. Now put it down there. Yeah. Pichu! I normally really don't care for, like, the baby Pokemon. Pichu's kind of the one exception because he's in Smash, and yeah, it's just kind of funny for Pichu to be in Smash. Pichu's a good joke character, I guess, in that sense, so I'll put Pichu there. Pichu's just a solid joke character. Then Cleffa. Here's the part where all of the baby Pokemon go in C tier because I don't care for them. I think giving pre-existing Pokemon pre-evolutions was really just the wrong way to go about it, and it really contributed to Johto's decks feeling really, really weak. Because half of these Pokemon you're never going to encounter. Because you're just going to encounter their evolved forms. And the only way you're going to get them is if you breed in a breeding center. So, cool, I guess. Don't care, though. And, yeah, it's just... And the thing is, because, like, take Cleffa. Clefairy... where's Clefairy? Can't find Clefairy. I've lost Clefairy. No! I've actually lost Clefairy. What the fuck, bro? Where's Clefable? I know Clefable is. Where's Clefairy? Alright, Clefairy in here? I feel like I did. Found Lickitung. Oh, there's Clefairy in C tier. Because they already designed Clefairy to be like a starting Mon, to be the first evolutionary stage, going backwards just made them... They make it all the same. Like, look at the Cleffa, Igglybuff, there's more in this gen. Tyrogue, Elekid, Magby. Those are like the main baby Pokemon. They just like lose design elements. I don't know. I just really don't like the concept of baby Pokemon in general. And this isn't even just like exclusive Gen 2 hate. I don't like them in Gen 4 either. But Cleffa is going to go really low because it's part of the Clefairy line, which is already a line I don't really care about that much. So, there you go. Igglybuff is going to go, like, down here because it's actually just disgusting. It's a disgusting creature, and I don't like it. Why is there a spiral on its head? Is it been possessed by Null from Marvel Comics? Why does it look at me with such soulless eyes? I do not like Igglybuff. The more I talk about Igglybuff, fuck it. Igglybuff goes below Jinx. Fuck Igglybuff. Get it out of here. Togepi. See, Togepi is a baby Pokemon done right because it's a baby Pokemon introduced with its evolution. So, like, now it's just the first stage. You don't have to have the context of, oh, this was a first stage that was added later, so it looks stupid. Togepi works because it just is Togepi. Anyways, Togepi was also in the anime, so very cool. Awesome sauce. Still just kind of like generic, cute Pokemon though, so I don't really care. Also, Togepi took away from Psyduck Misty Time, so don't like it. I'm gonna put it below the other egg Pokemon. Gonna ruffle some feathers with that. The Execute is the superior egg Pokemon. Then Togetic. I'm so glad they introduced Togekiss in Gen 4, because Togetic looks like an ugly middle stage. But you gotta, like, think in the context. In Gen 2 and Gen 3, this was the final form. Like, ugh. I can't imagine. I can't imagine this being, like, my reward for raising a Togepi. Get it out of here, for real. No, it's better. Yeah. Then, Natu and Xatu. Or is it Xatu and Natu? Hold on. I can't remember. I've lost in the sauce. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was Natu and Xatu. So, Natu. I like it. It's just kind of like a cute little bird Pokemon. I kind of like what this line is going for. It's both like a totem pole type deal, like a Native American totem pole, but it's also kind of like those little birds that you put on your desk and they'll occasionally dip down and drink the water, you know? So I like that. Natu, probably down here. Probably there. That feels right. And then Zadu goes up here somewhere. Say about there. Yeah. Then Mareep. Mareep works. It definitely teeters on the line of being this sure is just a sheep. But I think Mareep has enough where it's like, oh, I get it. It's an electric sheep. Which I wonder if the joke is supposed to be like, oh, it's do robots dream of electric sheep? If that's supposed to be the joke with Mareep. It'd be an interesting joke if true. But anyways, Mareep is gonna go. Say up here. It's a sheep, but it's a funny sheep, so I like it. Flaffy, I don't really like Flaffy. Something about like the pink color combined with like the pose. I don't know. I think it really is just the pink. The pink just doesn't work for me. I think it should have stayed either blue or gone yellowish like Ampharos. I mean, I get it's kind of supposed to look like a sheared sheep, but Mareep is blue. So, I don't know. Just don't know. Just don't know. Put it there. Then Ampharos. I really like Ampharos. Probably put it up here. Maybe, yeah, right about there. Oh, me. Oh, wait, I just realized I never turned the music back on. That's why it felt so silent. I went through, like, a bunch of Pokemon without music. I can't believe this. Yeah, Ampharos... How can I describe... I don't know. Ampharos is another one that just kind of works for me. It's weird. It's, like, for some reason, like a sheep dinosaur thing for whatever reason. Why it's a sheep dinosaur thing, I could not tell you. But it sure is, and I just vibe with it, I guess. Blossom. Blossom feels... I feel like if Blossom was just by itself, I would like it a little bit more. But for some reason it's tied to the Vileplume line, and it's just weird to me that it's tied to the Vileplume line. I don't know. It's still fine enough, I guess, so put it like here. But I'll put it here. But it just, being tied to the Vileplume line is just weird to me. Because the Vileplume line, like, it sets out, it does exactly what it wants to do. It goes from the weed to the sprout to the bloom. Like, yeah, it checks out. And then there's just Blossom there for some reason. I don't know, I don't vibe with it. This is Meryl and Azumarill, right? I always forget the name of these Pokemon. Yeah, it's Meryl. Yeah, it's Meryl and Azumarill. I'm gonna have to look up what the other one is called. Is it like Azu? Hold on, let me look it up real quick so I don't forget, because it's next gen, so I'm not... Azurill. Sure. I guess there's kind of like the interesting story with Meryl where it was like Peekaboo and people thought it was God for some reason. That was weird. Besides that, it really doesn't have anything going on for it, though. As the first Pikachu clone, it constantly gets overshadowed by Pichu, which is crazy work to be overshadowed by Pichu. So, yeah. It's just gonna go down here. And then Azumarill, it's kind of got like the Wigglytuff ugliness going on, but with none of the wiggly funniness. So here it goes, I guess. Sure is the line of all time. Sudowoodo is a Pokemon I quite like. I quite like Sudowoodo, you know? Once again, playing on like the mimic trope in a JRPG, but it's doing it in a different way, where it's like the mimic is mimicking the environment and not the treasure chest. Ooh. And I like that it's a rock type to represent that, you know? It's not a grass type. It is actually trying to mimic trees and failing because it's a rock. You could squirt water on it and it dies, unlike a tree. So I like Sudowoodo. It's a pretty cool guy. Then Politoed. Politoed's another one where it's just like, why did we put this in the line we put it in? It would have been fine if it was by itself, I guess, but I don't like that it's in the Poliwrath line. Because it doesn't... I don't know, it's just weird. Like, it's cool that the Poliwrath... Excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with me today. It's cool that the Poliwrath line finally became a frog, I guess, but... this frog... It's I don't know what there's something wrong with this frog. They're putting chemicals in the water. It's turning the friggin' frogs green. That's no good. We'll put it down there. I just don't vibe with it. It's also kind of like just a frog. Wasn't there also another like just a frog Pokemon I already did? I don't think there was yet. Then Hoppip. I can't remember the name. Or Jumpluff is another one. Bro, Gen 2 is so forgettable, dog. Skiploom, that was the middle one. These sure are the Pokemon of all time, I guess. Skiploom was in Poke Park 2, so it gets to go like up here. And then I like what Jumpluff is going for. This one actually makes sense because it's like a dandelion, so that checks out. Unfortunately, Whimsicott did it better. So get out? Question mark? Yeah, like there. Actually, I might be so for real. They get hard stopped by Staryu. It sure is the line of all time, I guess. Ambipom. I don't get the Ambipom hatred. It's certainly not the most appealing Pokemon in the world, but it's all right. You know, I can't bring myself to hate it. So I will put it in like B tier. Like there. It's alright. It's just a little monkey. There are worse monkeys that we will talk about in Gen 5. Ambipom's alright. And I like that it's kind of, you know, it's got the thing of like, oh, well, monkeys hold on to things with their tails, so its tail is a hand. That's a cool idea. I like that. Sunkern. I don't know what it is. I just vibe with Sunkern. His fate. Oh, where did it go? I just vibe with Sunkern. It's like Spinarak for me, I guess. Or Venonat. I'll put it below Venonat because I don't vibe with it like I do with Venonat. But I just like Sunkern. And then Sunflora's alright. The minigame in Scarlet and Violet. I didn't have many like frame drops in Scarlet and Violet, but the minigame with the Sunflower was atrocious, so minus points for that question mark? Put it above Dugong, I guess. No, I won't. I'll put it above 4C. Because I still like it. Yanma. What is this Persona music, bro? What's this? I'm listening to something from Persona 1. Holy moly. What it sounds like anyways. Yanma. It's hard. Yanma's so weird to me. Like, why was this the single evolution? The single stage evolution in Gen 2? Like, why was it like this? Yanma benefited so greatly from Yanmega. It's crazy. And, I don't know. Yanma... We're really filling out the seats here with this one, because Yanma just... It just does nothing for me. At all. Yeah. Then Wooper. That was me, by the way. That was not your computer. That was my computer. My pooter. Wooper, I mean, how can you hate a face like that? How can you hate a face like this? It's gotta go up here somewhere. Yeah, that's where I'm feeling. I like Wooper, but I've never been like a Wooper fanatic like everybody else. Palladian Wooper's pretty cool though. I'd say right there, they're about the same level for me. They're not like, you know, they just kind of made Wooper brown and said he's poisonous now, which is cool, I guess, but not really groundbreaking. Then Quagsire. Quagmire. Giggity, giggity. I like Quagmire. No, I like Quagsire. I don't like Quagmire. I like Quagsire. He's kind of like giving the same vibes as Slowpoke, so I'll put it around Slowpoke, but I like him a little better because he's happier. Or because he's goofy. I don't know. I just like Quagsire better. Espeon. Gen 2 is when the evolution started becoming actually good. So, and Espeon's definitely proof of that. I vibe with the twin tails, the ruby. It's very Blaze the Cat coded, though I do think Espeon came first. So I rock with it. It's just a very elegant creature. So I'll put it up here. It'll dethrone Ivysaur as the top of A+. Then Umbreon. Most overrated evolution ever? Maybe? It's not that overrated because it's at least not part of Gen 1's evolutions, that's for sure. I'm gonna put it here. It's still cool, I still like it, but it's just like the fox the fox stuff instead of the cat-like stuff that Espeon has, which I really like. And Umbreon is just kind of like a black Eevee that loses the tufts and gets like yellow rings. Shiny's cool though, it's got a cool shiny. Can't say that about Espeon. Espeon shiny sucks. Murkrow, I really like Murkrow. It's another one that's just kind of weird for being a single stage, and I don't know why they did it. Like, what about this guy screams a single stage evolution? He feels like he should evolve into something. But I really like him. He's just a chill little guy. I also like how it's a crow, but he's also got like the hat like a scarecrow. So that's an interesting way to do it. And he's also in a gang, so better watch out. That's why he's a dark type. I'm above these guys. That's where I'm feeling for Murkrow. Then Slowking. I really like Slowking. I like the idea that the Shelter biting a different part of Slowking gives him different powers. Oh, I lost Slowking. Oh, there he is. I like that. I think that's a cool way to do things. So, I'll put him... Yeah, I think they're all just gonna go together. That being said, Galarian Slowking's alright, but he's not better than the original Slowking like Slowbro is. He's just kind of purple Slowking, but also evil Slowking now. He's evil Slowking. So, good for him, I guess? I don't know. Then Mischievous. Oh, me. Where to put Mischievous? Kind of like Murkrow and the other one I talked about, Yanma. It's a really weird single evolution. It also sucks that this was like the only ghost type added in Gen 2 when ghost types were already sorely lacking from Gen 1. But I still like Mischievous. It's a mischievous little witch. I rock with that. Miss Magius is better, but we'll get to that later down the line. In like 2 episodes. Nah, I think Mischievous can go up here. Yeah. I rock with Mischievous. It's just a silly little creature. And the plush has a giant awe head, which is funny. Unknown. Okay, which letter of the alphabet should I rank here? I think I'm gonna rank the letter F. I think that's the best letter to rank out of all the letters. Or actually, I'm gonna rank G. Actually, what's the first letter that comes up when I look up unknown? Okay, it is F. I was right. I should have ranked F. I should believe in myself. I'm gonna rank F. The letter F. Do 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 do. Unknown. I find the concept of like a mysterious ancient group of Pokemon that are just the letters of the alphabet is interesting. And the more like Arceus lore they did in Gen 4, specifically in Heart Gold Soul Silver, where they did the secret room that you only can get by having an Arceus in your party, where all the unknown come. It's very implied that Arceus controls the unknown and maybe directly created the unknown like it did with Dialga and Palkia and Giratina, which is very interesting. That being said, at the end of the day, these are just the letters of the alphabet and I am just ranking the letter F. So I'm gonna put it in A tier for the lore implications, you know, for the lore. Wobbuffet's a classic. Another Team Rocket one, perhaps even funnier than Meow, but also just really funny in gameplay too, because it learns like 6 moves total, and all of those moves are just, fuck you, you can't attack me or I hit you. It's just a punching bag. It's just a punching bag Pokemon, which is hilarious. I love Wobbuffet, he's a friend. So, Girafarig. It's cool that it's a palindrome, I guess. It would have made more sense if the back half was like an actual giraffe face, but it's just a little like goblin tail. And if we're talking about little goblins on your back, Mawile did it better, but that being said, Girafarig's another one that like greatly benefited from having an evolution in Gen 9. It really needed it. I'm gonna put it like here. Yeah, that's how I feel for Girafarig. I never particularly cared much for this Pokemon. It just kind of is a giraffe, but like it's a half evil giraffe. Ooh. Oh hey, going from just a giraffe to just a pine cone. This sure was a Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, Pineco is literally just a pine cone. There are very few Pokemon where I'm like, oh well, who is this man's belong to? Who's this guy's favorite? Or who has this guy as their favorite? Pineco is one of the ones where it's just like, who has Pineco as their favorite Pokemon, bro? Surely there's nobody whose favorite Pokemon is Pineco, bro. That's crazy work, if true. The Fortress is a lot better though. I still don't really know what they're going for at all. But it's cool, I guess. I don't know. It reminds me of like a Mario enemy. And I like Mario, therefore this is a good design. Dunsparce is just funny. It's just this useless dude. We'll get to the part that makes the joke even funnier later down the line, but as of now, I find Dunsparce to just be a really funny Pokemon. So where do I put it? Put it above Electrode. And Gligar. Gligar's just a cool little dude. This is one where it's like, the second evolution definitely benefited him, but he didn't need it as much as like Murkrow. Low-key, Shuckle needs a second evolution, but nobody wants to talk about that. But I like him. He's just a silly little goblin scorpion dude, bat thing. I vibe with him. Can go up there. Now, let's see, how many more do we have left? Not that many. I'm gonna take a quick little break because my voice is getting kind of raggedy. Because I had to yell at kids all day today because there were a bunch of dumbass children at the pool I work at, so... yeah. Anyways, I will be back shortly to finish up Generation 2. All right. Okay, I'm ready to finish out strong. Let's do it. Steelix. Steelix is just like cooler Onyx. And Onyx was already cool, as you can tell, so Steelix is gonna go up here. He's just like, how do you make a big ass rock snake even cooler? You just coat it in steel. And then make its face flatter. Probably like here. That's about where I vibe with Steelix. Snubble. Oh wait, I need to turn my music on, don't I? How do I vibe with Snubble? Snubble's weird. I don't hate it, but I also don't like it. That sounds like a C tier to me. Gramble's cool though. I don't know what it is, but I just like Granbull. Same case as like Noctowl, so I'm gonna put it above Noctowl because I find the design a little bit more creative than Noctowl. So there you go. Quillfish. I really like Quillfish actually. Probably about here, yeah. I think it's just a cool idea because it's like it's obviously a pufferfish, but then it's also like a sea mine. If you kind of look at it, and that it's made even more obvious with Overquill later in Hisui, but it kind of is just like a sea bomb, an aquatic bomb. So I like it for that. For some reason, the water types in this generation had like they were weirdly. How do I put this? Weirdly weapon based, because like Remoraid Noctillery, obviously, and then I think Feraligatr also is, but I'm not sure. And then Hisui and Quillfish is just like kind of purpley poisonous Quillfish, which I vibe with. I like the colors. Purple on black is a go-to color scheme, so I vibe with it. Then Scizor, another one of the GOATs. Another one of the best to ever do it. How can you not like Scizor, right? I mean, he's just that guy. Low-key. Yeah, Scizor's just that guy. Scyther was already like a really cool design, and then they just take Scizor and they're like, okay, it's steel now. Now it has pincers that are really cool that can also be turned into fists to punch you with. Now it's just cool. Now it's red. It looks like Iron Man kind of. Scizor's just cool. He's just an awesome guy. Shuckle, on the other hand, is a Pokemon that's really odd to me. And I can't quite place my finger on why, but because it's odd, it's probably gonna go like right around here. Then Heracross. Heracross is always one that I forget was introduced in this generation, because its rivalry with Pinsir is like so famous to me in my head. So yeah, and then as far as the rivalry goes, Heracross is clearly winning. Like, look at this guy. Not only is he also a fighting type, but he's also just chill with it. Pinsir is chalant, while Heracross is nonchalant. He has zero chalantness in his body. He's just cool. I don't know. Johto was cooking on bug types, I guess, because Scizor, Heracross, Ariados I really like. Where is Ariados? The only one that they kind of sucked at was Ladian. But, you know, you can't win them all. Sneasel. Sneasel definitely benefited from having a second evolution in Gen 4. That being said, Sneasel is pretty cool. Get it? Because it's an ice type? say right about there. Sand Slash is a little cool. And then Hisuian Sneasel. The Sneasel part isn't that bad. It's really only when it gets into being Sneasler that it's weird. That being said, I do like the original a little more. Teddy Ursa. It's just kind of a stuffed bear. I mean, you know, it sure is a cute stuffed bear, I guess, but you know how cute things do in the That One Pyro Noob tier list. They suck! So it goes down here, next to Mr. Mime. Ursaring is certainly a bear. Pokemon, they go hit and miss with the bears, I've noticed, because Snorlax is goated for sure. Then Ursaring is just like, it sure is a bear. Was there a bear in Gen 3? I don't think there was a bear in Gen 3. And did Gen 4 have a bear? I don't think Gen 4 had a bear. Where the bears at? Where the bears at? Oh, I guess it had Munchlax. Munchlax is goated by association. And then Gen 5 had Beartic, which sucks. It's also, it sure is a bear. Except it's an icy bear now. And then Gen 6 had... Didn't Gen 6 have a bear? Oh yeah, Pangoro. Pangoro's goated. And Gen 7 had Beware, who's goated. And Gen 8 had... did Gen 8 have a bear? Did Gen 8 have a bear? I don't remember. I don't think Gen 8 had a bear. And then, or I guess it had Ursaluna. That's technically Gen 8, which improved on the Ursaring line a lot. Then I don't think Gen 9 had a bear either. Yeah, I don't think Gen 9 had a bear. Had a bar. Anyways, tangent aside, Ursaring certainly is a grizzly bear. A grizzly bar. And it does not have aura like Noctowl does, so I'm just gonna put it like next to Teddy Ursa and call it a day. I wish you could see me looking into the camera. If only I had one. I'm not gonna say this Pokemon's name. Except yes, I am. Slugmanuts, got him! Hopefully that didn't peak too bad. It probably did. That was kind of the joke. Loud equals funny, right? Loud equals funny. But anyways, yeah, Slugmanuts, go... You can do a lot. It's really funny. The Slugma joke is a lot funnier than Gulpin or Rhydon because Slugma makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense. So it's funnier to me than Rhydon or Gulpin. So I'm gonna put it there. And then Mad Cargo's actually just one I've always liked. I don't know, like a lava snail that carries like obsidian on its back that is canonically hotter than the sun. It's kind of dope. I kind of rock with it. Swinub. Swinub's pretty cute. I cannot deny it. Swinub's pretty cute in a little squimbly sort of way. Where did I put Kabuto? I'm gonna put it next to Kabuto. Right there. I like Swinub. It's just a chill guy. Then Piloswine. Again, it's just a chill little guy, you know, it's searching the ground for some berries and roots and stuff. I dig it. It's just kind of like a mound of fur with two little tusks and a nose. And for some reason, that's like peak design. I couldn't tell you why, so there you go. Corsola. Prior to Gen 8, Corsola just certainly was like a coral Pokemon. Even looking back at this original design, it's just like kind of whatever, you know? Galarian Corsola, though, I really like because it's like a commentary on conservationism, which is good. I like it when Pokemon comments on conservationism. I like Remoraid. How do I... For starters... Okay, hold on. I need to fact check something real quick. Before I say anything, I'm gonna fact check it. Okay. Successfully fact checked. Why the fuck does Remoraid evolve into Octillery, bro? It doesn't make any sense. It's a fish going to an octopus. An octopus isn't a fish. An octopus doesn't even have a spine. That aside, Remoraid, it sure is a fish that is also supposed to be like a gun. For some reason. I guess. I'm gonna put it like here. Maybe here. Yeah. It sure is, does things I described. Octillery works a little more, I guess, because it's like, at least it's an octopus, and I don't think octopi have really been done much in Pokemon, from what I can recall. Maybe I'll think of something else, because they've definitely done like jellyfish and stuff, but is Octillery the only octopi? It might be. Or I guess Clobbopus and Graplock. But Octillery is a serviceable octopi, and I like the fact that it's like its mouth is a cannon, you know, it's artillery. That's cool. It definitely works better than Remoraid, which is like a revolver fish. That being said, it's still not like the greatest thing in the world. We'll put it like here. No, here, yeah. Delibird. How can you hate on Delibird? He's just a cute little Santa Claus penguin who goes around giving gifts. He's like Dragonite, but a bird. I rock with him. He's also super helpful at like Pokepark and when it comes to like just getting stuff. So I dig him. Mantine. It sure is a manta ray. It could still benefit from an evolution, low-key, if we're being perfectly honest. I like that it's a flying type, I guess. That kind of gives it a little pizzazz. It, like, glides above the water. Like a manta ray, but on top of the water instead of below it. B tier. Where did I put Remoraid? Remoraid's there. Octillery's there. Is Mantine better than Octillery? I don't think so. It's... there, yeah. Skarmory. Skarmory's cool. Like, I mean, how can you hate on him? He's just like a cool bird. Like, it's a bird made of knives. How can you go wrong with a bird made of knives? I rock with it personally. I rock with it. Houndour. This certainly is a Pokemon that I can't wait to evolve into its second form, because the second form's way better. That being said, it still has some of the sauce, you know. It still has like a little bit of a skull on its head, and it's got the color scheme, it's goated color scheme. I rock with it a little bit still. Probably about that much is how much I rock with it. Houndoom, though. Hello? Base department? It's a hellhound. I can't believe they got away with a hellhound. I don't think I've even heard, like, any of the, like, Christian people crazies talk about Houndoom, even though it is literally a hellhound. And they had it out for Pokemon in the 90s, so who knows? Maybe one day. Maybe now that I've brought it up, I'll manifest it into the world. As for now, though, Houndoom is goated. He's just cool. Like, I don't know. He's just really cool. He's probably one of my favorite dog Pokemon. because I've never really been like a big fan of the dog Pokemon generally. Kingdra. It's weird because Seadra's more spiky, which means in theory I like it more, but Kingdra's a dragon type. So I'm gonna put Seadra higher because I like the spikes on Seadra. They should have kept that going into Kingdra, the spikiness. Maybe made it like, well, no, because it's a dragon type, so never mind. But Kingdra is a good dragon. It's a cool dragon type. It is a little weird that it is the only dragon type in this game, but at least the dragon type is doing better than the ghost type in Gen 2, because the Gengar line in Mischievous is pretty bad representation. Vampy. There sure is like a little toy elephant creature thing. I don't know, it's just a lot of like the Pokemon in this gen were just kind of built to be cute. I wonder if they were like trying to attract more of a female audience in this gen, because they certainly seemed intent on making just a lot of like just cute Pokemon, just Pokemon that are cute for the sake of being cute, which, you know, nothing wrong with that. I understand that that is some people's taste. I've just never been like a big fan of the Pokemon that are just cute for the sake of being cute. Donphan's cool though. It's an elephant, but it like rolls itself up into a tire and then it just rolls. That's kind of funny and silly and cool. It's what I want out of a Pokemon. A tire elephant is something I never would have thought of, and that's why I like Pokemon, you know? Who knew I was gonna get like this introspective about like Donphan, but I sure am. That being said, Donphan still isn't like the best design ever, but a tire elephant's an interesting way to take it, so there you go. Porygon 2. I like Porygon 2. It's kind of just Porygon, but smooth, which works for me. It's going in more into like the rubber ducky direction. My rubber ducky. And I don't know, I like rubber duckies, so there you go. Actually, no, I have to keep Shelter and Vaporeon together for the sick freaks. So Shelter has to be behind Vaporeon, actually, because, yeah, there we go. Stantler. I almost called it Weird Ear. I was like about to say Weird Ear, but no, Weird Ear is the one from Gen 8. Stantler is a Pokemon. It's another one that greatly benefits from having an evolution introduced later, because this sure is a reindeer, I guess. They didn't even like associate it with Delibird, which I feel is like the most obvious thing in the world to do, is make it associated with Delibird for like the Santa Claus thing, but they didn't. So now it's just kind of an ugly looking deer Pokemon. Yeah. Smeargle! I love Smeargle. He's just a little painter dog trying to paint and learn Vincent Van Gogh skills or whatever. He's awesome. Probably about right there. I love Smeargle. He's cool. Tyrogue. I do not like Tyrogue at all, actually. I think he's super ugly. I don't know what they were cooking, trying to introduce a baby Pokemon that evolves into Hitmontop, or, oh, well, Hitmontop, but Hitmontop is introduced in this generation, so I'm not going to count it. That evolves into Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I think those worked perfectly fine being single evolutions that are just like kind of supposed to be rivals, I guess. Tyrogue's just weird, and I don't like it. And I'm so thankful they did not introduce a pre-evolution for Sock and Throw. Hitmontop. Is it? I feel like I am the only person in the world that actually likes Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan better than Hitmontop. I don't know what it is. I just like, I don't get the idea behind Hitmontop, you know? You had a Pokemon that punches and a Pokemon that kicks. So what's the other like limb you use? It's your head. You make a Pokemon that headbutts, right? Except this Pokemon doesn't headbutt. It spins on its head and then kicks. So it's just Diet Hitmonlee, I guess. But I don't know. That being said, I do still like it. It's still funny and silly. It's just a little worse than the other two. Smoochum is garbage tier. It's associated with Jinx and it's a baby Pokemon. Therefore, I hate it. Elekid, I don't like. But at the very least, it's... I've seen worse, I guess. We can go up here. What's the highest baby Pokemon? I guess Cleffa. I'm actually gonna put it higher than Corsola. Magby! Magby's just ugly. I don't like Magby one bit. I do not care for Magby at all. Miltank. I like Miltank. See, whereas Tauros was kind of just a bull, Miltank actually had sauce in that it's like kind of a cartoony, silly cow that has giant udders that get milked. I don't know what the joke I'm trying to make is. You know what? Ignore all of that. None of that happened. Also, Whitney's Miltank is an absolute monster. Like, horror stories have been passed down about that Miltank, and that's cool, you know? You love to have a Pokemon that has aura like that from a battle. Like, I can't even think of like a Gen 1 Pokemon that has like the reputation Whitney's Miltank has. There probably is one and I'm just forgetting it. But it's the same type of deal as like in Gen 3 there was Norman's Slacking and Steven's Metagross that were like OP. In Gen 4 it was Cynthia's Garchomp. In Gen 5 I don't remember. Or I guess Gets's Hydreigon was pretty nutty. But yeah. Miltank. Anyways, Miltank cool. Blissey, cast it into the pits of hell. I'm just kidding. I don't play competitive, so I actually don't care. That being said, it's just kind of Chansey, but a little bit more, I guess. But that being said, I like the simplicity of Chansey, so I like Chansey a little bit more. Ooh, on to some legendaries. This is gonna be an extremely hot take. I think this group of legendaries is the worst group of legendaries ever. Like, genuinely cannot think of a group of legendaries worse than these three. I've never, like, particularly cared about them, and I couldn't tell you why. That being said, Raikou, or Raikou, Roku. I'd say there. It's cool. Entei. I think Entei's pretty easily the worst of the group. And then Suicune's the best. Although that may just be biased from Suicune was in Pokken Tournament and the other two were not. Suicune also got its own game, so people just... Somebody at the Pokemon Company just says, fuck the other two, Suicune's the coolest. So, I mean, hey, if I was in a position of power, I would do the same thing. Larvitar. It's a good stage 1. None of the pseudo-legendaries really have, like, great stage 1s in my... Well, no, that's not true. Gibble and Dano are pretty alright. But But Larvitar is like, it's kind of fugly. I'll put it there. Then Pupitar. I don't know why Pupitar exists. It's really weird to me that, like, in this dinosaur lineage that's supposed to be kind of a nod towards Kaiju and Godzilla, it has a pupil form for some reason. I don't know. It's just weird. I'll put it above Togepi, I guess. Tyranitar, though. Ooh, Tyranitar. I love Tyranitar. I mean, how can you not love Tyranitar? He's awesome sauce. Put him there. Tyranitar is really, really cool. You can't go wrong with a Pokemon inspired by Godzilla. You really can't. At least for me. He's also, even to this day, still very unique, being one of the only... Excuse me. One of the only, pseudos to not have the Dragon type. Him and Metagross. So that's really cool. And I don't know, he's just a really cool mon. I really like him. Now, for the final set of legendaries, Lugia. Lugia is like one of the most hyped up legendaries, and I'm pretty sure it's only because of like Pokemon Coliseum or whichever one it was. The one with Shadow Lugia on the GameCube, you know the one I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that is the only reason Lugia is as hyped up as it is, because I've never like seen the Lugia hype. I think it's the hands. I really think it's like how Lugia has hands instead of wings. It's just weird and off, and I'm like, why? How does it flap with those? It doesn't. I don't. It really is just the hands. I'm not a fan of the hands. No, I'm not feeling this. Yeah, that's where I want Lugia, below red on these notes. Now, Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh, on the other hand, is a Pokemon I do really like. It's just like a big, beautiful bird. A BBB, if you will. A big, beautiful bird that's all about the rainbows and the sky and healing and all of that. I don't know, there's something very majestic about Ho-Oh that I've always really liked. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I do love him. So I'm gonna throw him under Kingler. Is Kingler the GOAT? Then Celebi. Celebi's another one that's like it's like Mew in that it should have gotten the Fairy type when the Fairy type came out. I've never been like a huge fan of this stereotype or this phenotype, I guess, of mythical Pokemon where all their base stats are 100 and it's just like a little fairy imp creature. I think Celebi's one of the worst of this phenotype too, because it's like the green onion time-traveling baby thing. I don't know about it. I just don't know about it. You know what? I'm gonna do something crazy and put it in C tier. I'm just not a fan of Celebi. And the Celebi movie is like... Have I seen any other movies besides the Celebi movie? I vaguely remember seeing half of, like, or maybe less than half, probably like a quarter of the Kelia movie at the dentist's office, but that doesn't really count. So I'm gonna say the Celebi movie is the only movie I've seen, and even then I'm not like a big Celebi fan. So that's just my 2 cents though. But anyways, yeah, that is Pokemon Gen 2, every single Pokemon ranked. I had a lot more higher than I thought I was gonna have. Because I really genuinely do think that Gen 2 probably has the weakest decks. It's definitely up there. I genuinely can't think of a deck where I dislike so many Pokemon as I do with Gen 2. Even with Gen 5 having like a fair amount of mid, and Gen 4 having a fair amount of mid too, at the very least those are balanced out by having substantially more bangers. Gen 2 just doesn't have a lot at all. But next up, next week, next tier list Thursday, we're going over Gen 3, which is actually my favorite generation. Emerald is my favorite game. I know. Nostalgia. It is. It 100% is nostalgia. I played Emerald when I was 11. I love that game to death. So I'm very excited to go through the Gen 3 decks because there are a lot of Pokemon here that I really, really love. So I will see you all then. I'll also maybe see you all tomorrow for either Shovel Knight or Dave the Diver or some other third unspecified option that I have not decided on yet. Later, Gators.